Hello and welcome to Transformers Lore. When we left off, the war between Optimus Prime and Megatron began. However, this isn't the complete story to the origin of the war. We can go back further. Some of this video happens before Defiance, some of it happens afterwards. Let's get into this. It was eons ago. The 13 original Transformers had left Cybertron. No one was maintaining the Allspark cube anymore, and it ultimately died. With the energy crisis, the Transformers broke out into warring factions, and one of these factions was the Autobots under the command of Sentinel Prime, a descendant of Prima through the Allspark. The Autobot forces included Elita 1, Wheeljack, Megatron, and Shockwave. Another warring faction was the Thetacons, under the command of their Elder Council and the field command of Ironhide. There was one other descendant of Prima, Optimus Prime. When he was created, he was sent out with a group of Seekers called the Knights. His heritage was kept secret from him to avoid detection by the Fallen. When the 13 fell, Optimus was brought back to Cybertron and he was left in the middle of nowhere, locked away from society. But Sentinel found him, and with that, Optimus had joined the Autobots. Sentinel Prime taught Optimus about Cybertronian history and about the Primes. After hundreds of years of war and lack of energy, the Autobots successfully found the Allspark cube. Ironhide led the Thetacons in a battle against the Autobots at the cube, but Wheeljack managed to use the Allspark to bring in a sun that linked with the Allspark. Life came to Cybertron as the Allspark reactivated, ending the battle. Ironhide immediately surrendered his faction to the Autobots, but Optimus told his new friend that all were equal. Megatron takes a moment to argue this, but he gives in. The question on everyone's mind was, what now? And Sentinel Prime replied, freedom, and it is the right of all sentient beings. I know my Leonard Nimoy impression is terrible, guys, I'm sorry. It is a new dawn on Cybertron. Optimus and Elita 1, best friends, watch as new hatchlings are created on Cybertron, a generation of the new age. They talk and decide to go to Metro Titan to visit Chromia and RC, Elita 1's little sisters. The Thetacons build a temple around the Allspark called Symphur. Later that evening, Optimus meets with Sentinel. Sentinel tells Optimus that they will go to Trypticon to establish a new government. Optimus hesitates and tells Sentinel that he wanted to visit Elita 1's sisters, but Sentinel denies him permission. He's telling Optimus that he's too old to lead, and that it's now Optimus' time. He tells Optimus that he too is a Prime. Optimus refuses to believe this and brushes it off, but Megatron lurks in the darkness. He loved his mentor Sentinel, and he was heartbroken that all this time Sentinel favored Optimus over himself. He had thought they were equals. The next morning, Megatron complains to Shockwave about what he saw when they see a field trip of hatchlings under attack by creatures that live within Cybertron. Drillers. They are guarded by a fierce volunteer fighter, Starscream. Megatron and Shockwave assist. Shockwave is interested in the Drillers. Megatron admires Starscream as he feels that there are not enough Cybertronians these days who are willing to fight. 3 days later, everyone is at Trypticon where Sentinel Prime announces the new government. The capital will be Trypticon. The government will be divided into 2 equal branches, the Autobot Science Division under the command of Optimus, and the Cybertronian Defense Force under High Protector Megatron. The people of Cybertron begin to choose jobs. While RC, Elita 1, and Ratchet joined the Science Division, Chromia, Ironhide, Starscream, Soundwave, Shockwave, Crasher, Barricade, and Brawl joined the Defense Force. The Autobot Science Division immediately begins researching and scouting for artifacts of the 13. Not all the Cybertronians support this peace or government. The Malcontents rise up as a faction against the government, and Megatron's forces tear them apart. Optimus is called to see Megatron, and Megatron says that since the Malcontents are a dangerous element to society, the Cybertronian Defense Forces should have total leadership of the planet over the Autobot Science Division. Optimus reluctantly agrees, and Megatron takes the title of Lord High Protector. We all know how it spirals from here, how Starscream attacked Optimus' Science Division and members of the military under Prowl who supported him, how Megatron gave a speech at Trypticon announcing the formation of the new Decepticons. At this time, Sentinel Prime is leading an excavation site with Elita 1 and Wheeljack when the Decepticons arrive and attack. Optimus Prime arrives and helps them out. Chromia arrives as well. Optimus tells Sentinel that he's accepted his role as Optimus Prime. Later, the Autobots watch the Nemesis fly away as Sentinel shows Optimus the troops under his command. Optimus is hesitant, saying that he may not be ready. Sentinel tells him that fate rarely calls upon us at a moment of our choosing. Last episode, I told you that the Autobots prepared a ship. In actuality, they prepared 2 ships, both with the same name, the Ark. The war continued for a long time. Optimus observed the destruction. Sentinel unveils a plan that would kill all the Decepticons, but Optimus refuses, as he does not condone senseless murder. Ironhide gets upset at this. Optimus asks Ironhide why he left the Decepticons in the first place, and Ironhide is reminded why. Because the Autobots are above the senseless slaughter the Decepticons engage in. Sentinel accepts Optimus' decision and says that his invention has another way to win the war. He has a device called a torch that needs to touch the Allspark cube. Once it touches the cube, it will get some of the energy of the cube, and Sentinel can use the torch to power his new weapon. The Autobots launch an attack on Symphur. At Symphur, Megatron and his Decepticons arrive. Elita 1 touches the torch to the Allspark and drives to the Ark. Sentinel orders Wheeljack to take one of the Arks to get reinforcements from Tiger Pax, while he takes the other Ark to deliver the weapon to Optimus Prime. As he leaves, he assures Wheeljack, "Do this, and the war is over, old friend." The Ark captained by Sentinel takes off, and Starscream attacks it, thinking that there's nothing more to this story than meets the eye. Megatron sees Starscream attacking the Ark, and demands Starscream to fall back. Sentinel's Ark and the secret cargo it carried was Cybertron's last hope. The last hope for peace. As Starscream shot the Ark, it was a hope that vanished. The Ark disappeared in a cloud of explosions, seemingly vaporized. Optimus is enraged, and the Decepticons fell back. While standing with his Autobots in the corrosive rain of Cybertron, Optimus Prime changed. He decided that now he was going to kill Megatron. A soldier he once felt was his brother. Optimus charged, running alone to the Decepticon positions. Ironhide, Elita 1, Cannon Fodder, and Dead Guy follow him. Yeah, their names are Cannon Fodder and Dead Guy. Guess what happens to them? As the Autobots run, Elita 1 begs Optimus to stop, that this isn't who he is. Prime replies that Megatron's death is all that matters. The Decepticons engage the Autobots, killing Cannon Fodder and Dead Guy. Yeah, but you didn't see that coming. But Optimus, Elita, and Ironhide carry on. Optimus runs into a forest, and Ironhide and Elita take a moment. Elita can't handle this. She stays. Ironhide feels a sense of loyalty to Prime, and decides to follow him to the end. While Ironhide is kept busy with the Decepticons, Optimus Prime faces Megatron, who has covered himself with hatchlings who are hungry for Energon. Hatchlings who will one day be Decepticons themselves. Megatron laughs at him, asking if Prime would actually kill the hatchlings. Optimus readies his weapons. Because he will. Megatron knows this, and he takes the first move in the battle against Prime. Optimus decides to give an order to his Autobots: remove the Allspark Cube. The Allspark Cube is taken from Symphur, and with it gone from its place, the link to the sun is lost. The sun warps back to wherever it came from, and Cybertron is once again dark and without energy. Optimus looks at Megatron. "I won't lay a finger on your next generation, Megatron, but you're the one who has to feed them." "Prime, no!" The Autobots retreat, and Megatron is angry. He looks at his starving hatchlings and comes to the conclusion that he needs the Allspark. Back at the Autobot lines, Optimus returns, but it's not the Optimus everyone knew before. In Elita 1, Elita can't even look at him.
We were once a peaceful race of intelligent mechanical beings. But then came the war. Between the Autobots who fought for freedom and the Decepticons who dreamt of tyranny. Overmatched and outnumbered, our defeat was all but certain. But in the war's final days, one Autobot ship escaped the battle. It was carrying a secret cargo, which would have changed our planet's fate. A desperate mission. Our final hope. A hope that vanished.
Life doesn't discriminate.